Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome to Justsewsherrie. I'm Justsewsherrie here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Well, hello and welcome to Saturday the 31st of January. It is 20 to 7 in the morning. I am shattered. I'll tell you why in a minute. Welcome. Welcome if you have been with me from the very start and you're still going strong. Welcome if you joined me along the way of the last 3 years or so. And welcome if you are brand new to your Justsewsherrie journey. You'll need your seatbelt on. You have been warned. I didn't realise how tired I was till I've literally just had to start this a few times over because it appears me zip has zipped and gone. It's gone, guys, it's gone. It's just not here. So yes, I think today, and I'm talking about me as in today, not just Flosstube, but I think it's going to be a long one. Yeah, I had to go into the office yesterday. Yeah, my boss is not in my good books. No. So she asked me to go in, because she's in Liverpool, so she travelled over. Not only was it Friday, which is the back end of the week, obviously, so I was tired anyway, but the weather's been really bad, so my pain levels have been pretty poor. So yeah, she's not my favourite person in the world at the moment. So yeah, although I have to say it was good to see her. It always is, because we get on really well. I was just shattered, absolutely shattered, and I didn't realise, like I say, quite how much until I've tried to speak and find some energy from somewhere. So this should be fun. Yeah. Why am I here? Cross stitch. This is the channel about cross stitch. But we also attempt to have a laugh, although that might be today. We will see what happens as we go along our journey. Justsewsherrie. So again, I've got any amount. So I'm going to choose the one that I was going to use last week, which was usurped by my dad. So this week you're going to get the typical Justsewsherrie, like, yeah. So most of you know, if you've been with me before, I'm a PA to a director, which means I sort her life out basically. I make sure she's where she needs to be with all the things she needs to have with her. About a week and a half ago, she needed to be in Glasgow. She lives in London. She needed to be in Glasgow. So I bought her plane tickets there and back. Figured out what time she needed to be where, all the rest of it. Now, Breda's not very... She panics a little bit when she's going somewhere that she's got everything that she needs to have. She's always a bit frightened that she's going to be left high and dry somewhere. So anyway, she had asked, did she need a passport, which she doesn't. She was flying within the UK, so she doesn't. So if anybody doesn't know, you don't need a passport, but you do need some proper like photographic ID, so either an ID card or a driving licence, or usually a passport. So she decided she was going to take, she's Irish, so she was just going to take her ID card, which was fine. Although I just think, if you've got a passport, just take it. It always worries me that just in case, and I mean, this would happen once in every 500 years, that you got diverted to a country not of the UK. If you haven't got your passport, you are stuck on the plane. Basically, you can't get off. So, and there's a film, I think it was called The Terminal by Tom Hanks, and he ended up living in the airport. I can't remember how or why it came about, but he ended up in no man's land, because I think it was more to do with him being a citizen of somewhere. But anyway, I digress. That always puts the fear of God in me. I always think, if you've got a passport, just pick it up and go. So this Just So Sherrie isn't about that. So I just told you all of that. But I'm laying the groundwork. I am laying the groundwork. So I can't even remember what happened now. Yes. So she had her tickets. She had her ID. She knew what she needed to have. And she got there. And she tried to get through customs. And they said, your ID card does not match the name that the ticket has been booked in. Breda is not her given name. I won't say what it is, but let's say, for example, it was Bridget. So she is not, on her ID, she is Bridget. Bridget. Is that right? But her ticket was booked in the name Breda. I woke up to some frantic texts on me phone. I'm here, they've got the wrong name, I don't know what to do, da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. So by the time I woke up and saw my text, she was literally getting on the plane. Eventually they did say to her, look, we'll just let you on. It's, whatever. Apparently she made a million phone calls and they just let her on. It didn't even occur to me because, well, yeah, it just didn't occur. When on the system that I book it on, I have to put her details on as it appears on her passport or ID, whatever it is she's using. I put all that in and I put down the exact details that are on her ID. So I put all that in. And what we didn't realise was that at work she's Breda and our email is Breda and everything in her name is Breda. So when it had booked her ticket, it had pulled through the name Breda. So our ID stuff was correct, but it was booked overall in the name of Breda. So I was like, Breda, don't worry about it. I'll sort it out for you getting back. We won't leave you stranded in Scotland. Don't worry. Famous last words. Famous last words. So I phoned them and I said, I've got a situation here. I've got a lady stuck in Scotland whose name that's been booked in doesn't match her ID. And it wasn't until I spoke to him I thought, I remember doing this last year. But what had happened last year was she had picked up on it before and said to me, oh, Sherrie, my name doesn't match. So I'd phoned them and said, we need to change the booking name. And it was a year later, I'd forgotten all about it, and so did she. So, but I thought, it's fine, we'll sort it out. So I gave them a ring. He says, right, I'll just speak to British Airways. And he came back to me and said, there's a little bit of a problem. Because she has taken one of her flights, we cannot change the name now. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it means that she can't necessarily get home. I was just like, oh, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? Why can't we change the name? Because she'd already taken one of the flights. She was in the middle, in transit, if you like, so it couldn't be amended. Okay. So how's she going to get home? He says, well, I'll be honest. He says, I'd be getting on my knees and praying. I was like, this is not helpful at all. He says, honestly, he says, basically, what's happened is the staff at in London have just allowed her to get on. So it was never resolved. It was never been resolved. So this lady is now in Scotland. My director, who I've bought tickets for, is now abandoned in Scotland, in a different country entirely to where she's meant to be. And like something like, well, it's about a 7-hour train journey from London to Glasgow. But her plane back wasn't until it was 5:20, I think it was. And she wouldn't know whether she could get on the plane until she was literally on the plane. So it wasn't like I could even book her a train ticket after that, because that would have been like 6 o'clock. She would have had to get to the train station. She couldn't have gotten back that day. I would have then had to book her a hotel. But of course she had nothing with her, no clothes, no underwear, no nothing, you know. So yeah. So from 6 o'clock that morning, when I was sent a text message saying I can't get on the plane, because then the plane was delayed, and I was saying to Claire, this isn't happening to me. This is not happening to me, because I'd spent the day in just anxiety, lurching between, oh my God, what's happened? Oh God, what am I going to do? To laughing hysterically that I'd abandoned me director in a different country somehow, somewhere, some place. So yeah. And then the plane was delayed. I was saying to Claire, will this day never end? Will it never end? Do you know what it is? Even on my worst of night shifts when I was nursing, it wasn't as bad as this. It really wasn't. I literally put in a 12-hour shift in perpetual anxiety. Like, and Claire was going, it'll be fine. And I'm like, it wasn't you that did it. It's me. So she got on the plane. Thank the bloody Lord, they let her on the plane. The plane eventually took off an hour later. She got on the plane, they let her get on the plane, and she got home. Moral of the story: get her to check her tickets. Because she picked it up last year, I didn't. I'm just so used to it. Like, a name is a name. You just... And like I say, emails and everything else. And the thing is, we can't even change it because it's under her work stuff. And her work stuff is all in the shortened name that we use for her. So yes. It was a shift and a half. It really was. I'm not sure I'll ever get over it. Even now, my stomach's in knots thinking about it. So yes, that was my day with British Airways. Well done, Sherrie. Well done. Okay, so cross-stitch wise, what have I got for you today? Not as much as I normally would have. Last weekend, I struggled. I just couldn't get Saturday, particularly. I just couldn't get in the zone at all. I really, really struggled. So I had me stitching out in front of me, but I just struggled. Sunday was much the same. Yeah. Did I go out last? I'm sure I did something. Oh, that's right, because I went out on Friday night, didn't I? It took me all weekend, to recover from going out for a party meal and having a late night. It really took me out. So I got the doctor's this week actually, and she's adamant, absolutely adamant, that I've got a B12 deficiency, which I kind of hope I have, because then it would mean that I feel really justified by why I was so out of sorts for the entire weekend, last weekend. But I'll get some bloods done next week and we'll get that checked. I'll keep you posted. But so yeah, I don't seem to have that much for you. But what I do have is a finish. I've got a new start. I have got a couple of whips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whips. I've got really bad heartburn and I've run out of Rennies, so I'm going to have to get to the shop as soon as it opens, because this is hard going. I have done a little bit, I've got a couple of gifts, and I have done some fabric dyeing that I thought I'd show you. It's good. Yes, I'm sound shocked because I am. It is bloody amazing. I'm chuffed to bits with it. So hang on to your hat for that. Let's start with a finish. So this is, and I get me board. This is January. So it's the October House Fibre Arts January, which are my monthly stitches for 2026. Yes, the hat is either the hat's too far over or the flowers are too far in. I'm not sure which one. It doesn't matter. It's a little stitch for a month. I'm not that bothered. But yes, you can see actually, I hadn't really noticed how obvious it was until I've just held it up like that. But I'm chuffed to have it finished. So we think that it's a woolly hat that the little sheep's sitting on. I think it was Zoe Coco Creates, another Flosstuber, who said she thinks like the sheep is meant to be like the pom-pom on top of the hat. So it could well be. Could well be. I'll have to ask Mr. and Mrs. October whether that's what it is or not. So what did I do? I did it mainly with the cold for until I got to here. Well, actually, and the hat. Yeah, I did some of the cold for. I just make it up. I make it up as I go along. So, start with a hat. The pale blue was too close. I'd used 32 count Storm, and the pale blue that they'd chosen was too close to this. You really couldn't see it very well, so I ended up making the middle blue into the light blue, and then used a different medium blue, but then used the same dark. So I did change the main colour of the hat. And I also changed, now can you remember last week I was talking about this, because it was it Mariner's Compass or something like that. It was like a beige for the outside of the flower, and then you can see it's blues in the centre. Now my first thought was just to change the blues because it just looked odd. It didn't look right at all. And I think, was it during last week's Flosstube when I figured out that actually it might be better to change the outer colour. So that's what I did. I changed it for, and I did a little bit of Googling on colour, not so much colour theory, but I just put in what colour goes with dark blue. Oh, what colour complements dark blue. I came up with orange. That is not a colour I would have chosen. But anyway, you can't see it very well on here, but it's very much a coppery, rusty colour. It is. It's an Anchor 369, and it just happened. I've got a couple of random anchors kicking about, and it was just the right colour. So I put it in. Actually looks really, really okay, because I thought, well, if I do it that way, and it doesn't work, I can take it out again and change the whole thing if I need to. So, but it was fine. It looks, I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. So that is that. I've figured out how to finish it, because this fits perfectly within a 6-inch hoop heap. Yeah, a whole heap of sheep. It fits perfectly in a 6-inch hoop. So I'm going to finish them as hoop finishes. The only thing with that, because my other monthly doings, I've got a frame that I swap them in and out of, so I only need one frame, whereas for this I will need 12 hoops, and I'll just swap each out on the wall every month. What did I do? Because I did from the heart. I did last year I did my stockings, didn't I? Because I was thinking, how did I finish them last year? But it was my stockings. So that is that one. And as if by magic, I have been gone and I've come back. I had to go and get some Rennies. So it's just like an indigestion thing for anybody in other countries. I take proper medication for it, but yeah, sometimes it just gets a bit too much, and that's what it was just now. So I have got a new word. I've made up a new word. It's called whippified. I found that's what I was last weekend. I was whippified. So this is stupefied and whips. In other words, I had too many whips that I just couldn't. I just felt so overwhelmed by all my whips for whatever reason. So I did what any sane person does. I had a new start. Why do we do these things? Why do we do these things? This has been kitted up for maybe 2 years. And then I suddenly decided I couldn't live one more day if I didn't start it. Yeah. Right, where's me real thing? So this is AB 1816 Quaker sampler by Cross-Stitch Antiques. So that's Kathleen Littleton that I met at Ackworth, who's a lovely, genteel lady. Really, really nice lady. So yes, I started that. And I fell in love. So I couldn't stop stitching on it. It doesn't look like much. Well, it never does it? But loved it once I started it. So this is where I am. That's my needle minder that I got off my friend Anne with an E. So I am doing it with the silks, the 103s, on 40 count Ashley Down by Tabby Cat. This is a fabulous bit of fabric, and I need some more, desperately need some more of this. Now I have to hold my hands up. Hold my hands up, right? Hold my hands up, because I've been telling everybody this is 46 count. It's not, it's 40 count. I kept saying, yeah, I'm loving stitching on this 46 count. I don't know where, I'm just amazing, and it's only even taking me normal glasses, you know. Look at me. Lying through me back teeth to everybody, including myself. So yes, this is 40 count Ashley Downs by Tabby Cat. So anyway, yes, that is where I got to. So these along here are all Algerian eyelets. Enjoyed doing them, actually. I think I was sick of doing, to be fair, there's only 4 colours. So they're the 4 colours. and I think I was just sick of using this gold, so I switched and started doing the Algerian eyelets. I think they must be in the darker green, I'm not sure. I would need to check, but I thoroughly enjoyed stitching on this. It was the right one to pick up because I settled with it straight away. She says, haven't already said, I just couldn't settle. All weekend I couldn't settle. I think it took me so long to pick this up. Once I did, I wasn't too bad, but yeah, so I did that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I don't know what they're called. Faux fabric is actually. Pemberley by Needle and Flax, which I don't have. But I've got 46 carats. Yeah. Oh God, I'm flinging things around now. Yeah, it's all going to hell. But me heartburn appears to have settled straight away, which is one I couldn't do it any longer. Couldn't do it any longer. It's one of those things, heartburn, that, and I mean, in the grand scheme of like pain and stuff, it's not, you know, had worse. Ear infections and heartburn, just can't live with them. Can't live with them, and I don't know why. It's like I say, pain-wise, I suppose it's, yeah. Something's on the floor and I can't be bothered to bend down. So that was me fully finished and a new start. So now I think I'd already started this last week because I told you I decided to do the blessing sampler that I'd done. So I am doing a smaller month with the lovely Sarah Stonehouse, a Blackbird small a month, and it's all going to be geared towards either like the month or the season, something like that. So we chose a blessing sampler for January, but when I'd finished it, it was just a bit too big. It's still sitting over here actually. It was just a bit too big for the book that I wanted, so I started a new one, which I think I showed you last week, and it is called Peitie Examplair. No, it's not. That's the one I've just done. I'm having a Billy Liar episode today. I appear to be just unable to tell the truth. This one, a little bit French. So I'm doing this one, and this is just a 77 by 73. So this size is the biggest really that I want to go to. Now, I did say it was another blessing sampler and I had till the end of January to fix it. To stitch it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's the last day in January today, so it's unlikely that I'm going to get this finished. However, there's my thread. Oh, it's downstairs. I wonder what I've got all these threads for. Anyway, who knows? So I am doing this with, I'm doing it on tin roof, that's right, and I had started it with a red, just a red over dye, whatever it was I picked. It's 40 count tin roof and it's quite a delicate fabric. It's not, it hasn't got a lot to it, it's not, hasn't got any oomph to it, it's very delicate basically. And the thread just, it was just wrong. And I don't know why, but it was just wrong. So I frogged it and started again with a red. It's 103 and it's the red from Sarah Fletcher, whatever the red is on there. So, and it's perfect. So using the silk is loads better. It was just too heavy, the over dye, like the normal. And I was thinking about this, and I don't know whether like an original, you know, like a DMC would have been light enough, because that's it. I started pondering if if something that hadn't been dyed would be as voluminous. So what I mean is, once you've added a dye to the system and you've messed with the threads, if you like, does it fluff it up a little bit and therefore give it a bit more volume on the thread? Whereas if you just had the DMC, you haven't done anything with the thread. It's still sleeker. Am I making any sense? These are the things I think about and have like real discussions in my head about this sort of thing, about whether a thread is more voluminous after it's been dyed. Answers on a postcard, please. So yes, once I picked up the silk, loads better, absolutely loads better. So I now know that this tin roof won't really take over dyes. Yeah, but I'm pleased with it. I would quite like to get another chunk done today. I would like to give it a go. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere near finishing it. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give it a go, to see how far I can get. So next week, or it might be on Instagram. Hey, I'm doing dead good on Instagram at the moment. I meant to tell you that my New Year's resolution for Instagram, which I immediately failed, was to post every day on Instagram. So I'm not very good on Instagram. I think I failed after 3 or 4 days, which is fine, but I've still been loads better than what I used to be. I don't know why I've got these, whether these can go away or not. I don't know. I can't remember what we've picked for February. I'll have to ask Sarah. I can't be held responsible for knowing what I'm meant to be doing. Melody, where are you? Where are you, pet? I need a life organizer. A life organizer. Okie dokie. So next one. Hands-on design, Christmas folk. And this is the one I'm doing with the gorgeous talking dog stitcher, Rachel. And I finally did it, and I got the section done. So we do a 6-monthly sale, Christmas. It's ended up being a Christmas sale. That's kind of not how it started being, but yeah, we appear to have just done Christmas. So our new one is hands-on design, and Rachel has done the sections. So I'm doing what I'm told. And I even finished it before January. Although I've done a slight variation in what I've been told. Kind of. So, this is hands-on design. How many times do I want to say that? Christmas folk. So this was the section that I needed to do, down to these little stars at the bottom. I had some green left that was on me thread, so I've just done the tops of these 2 little trees. So that's the reason I've been a slight naughty and done a little bit more than what I meant to, but it is a very little bit. And I had like about so much length on me thread, and it would have gone in the bin, otherwise I wouldn't have saved it. So I thought, I'm just gonna do them. Now, did I make up? I did. So I'm doing it with the cold four, which are kept really nicely, as you can see. So I did like the stars. These are like specialty stitches. I don't know if they've got a name. They're a little bit like a Smyrna cross. It was meant to be done on, it was a pearl cotton, DMC 642 maybe. Anyway, and I had a look because I have got some pearl cottons, but I didn't have the right one. I had like an ecru colour, so I tried that, but I don't know, it didn't look right at all. So I just colour matched to a DMC. I thought, I'm not going to go and buy a pearl cotton for the sake of a few stars. To be fair, I had a shop around the corner, I would have, but yeah, I wasn't going to go to my local. I say local, it takes like nearly half an hour to get there, so for the sake of that, no. And as we all know, I don't leave the house unless absolutely necessary, so that was never going to happen. So that is that. So I've done, and I'm doing this on, I think I told you last week. Yeah, I did, because I'm a fully paid up member of the Sampler Guild, and they've got a Stitch Everyday WhatsApp group, and in there we were talking about, it was Letitia who owns Corrie's little shop. She was talking about saying that she'd got some different colours, hard hanger, in the shop if you're interested. So it just inspired me to pick up some hard hangers. That's 22 count. Mine's just a white though, as you can see. However, I might have been playing with the dye this week with a hard hanger. I do like hard hanger, and I am doing it with all of the cold four. So I think, yeah, I think that's that one. So I'll need to thread up. I'll need to kit up the next section. So this will stay up here now until I kit up the next bit. I mean, it's tiny, isn't it? Teeny tiny. I don't know what's the stitch count. Let's have a look. 53 by 190. Yeah, so that is really, width-wise, it's very small. It's pretty. I'm going to do the ornament as well. This one. I think that's really nice. Poinsettia. Poinsettia. Yes. Poinsettia. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just organising me stuff, my life. Otherwise I'll become very unorganised. This is going to go, just one moment, I'm going to put it somewhere else because the last time I did this, and I think it was my whip parade, I kept saying, oh, I'm leaving that out because I need to do X, Y or Z with it, and then put it in the same pile as everything else, and then it went downstairs, and yeah, it didn't end up staying up here for me to do X, Y or Z with it. Next one. I was stitching on this yesterday. My next one, and this will be done. One more session and this will be done. It's a lovely little stitch. So this is Plum Street, Winter Blessings. And this is where I am. Isn't it canny? Isn't it just lush? So what have I done? Basically, I've finished off. I haven't finished off at all. These lies are coming back to haunt me every time. How my nose isn't 6 foot long by now, I'll never know. But so yes, I'm nearly not far away finishing the border. I've done like, yeah, I had to come down here and do all the red on the other side and round the corner, and nearly full. She's headless at the moment, but I've got our little dress in, and it worked out right with me little three rows of snow at the bottom. So I've put his little nose in. No, that's his eye for the reindeer. Because I was leaving the reindeer, I was struggling with counting. Can you remember last week I said, for some reason, I just was struggling with the counting of this. So I wanted more put in of the regular stuff, like the border and stuff, so that I could count off. I like to count off 2 different things, no matter what it is. So like for this one, I counted from the centre of this leaf over, and I counted also from the bird down, just to make sure that I was in the right place. And as long as 2 of them match up, then I'm happy to go ahead. So I have put his little eye in. But I need to find, I haven't got the colour of the reindeer. Can't remember what it is. I've got the antlers. Is it 3021, I think? 3321? 3021, I can see it. And I need... Oh no, I've got 3021. What is it I need? Pine needles. Oh, that can't be right. You can have a green reindeer. I mean, you can if you want. There's nothing stopping you. But you wouldn't normally have a green reindeer. What is it then? Where's my glasses? I brought glasses up for a reason, and I just don't use them. Oh. I thought it was all just one colour. For the reindeer, it's not. It's got 3 different colours in it. Yeah, it's what, guys. I've got a bit of a, and I know this is a bit wacky. I know it's a bit out there, a bit, but sometimes it's worth looking at the pattern when you're going to stitch something. Yeah. That's something I might start and do. I know it's a bit wild. I know it's a bit of a wild statement. But I might try and look at the pattern, which is something I don't always do. So tea is red, he's in there. Cream. That's it. It's got like ecru in as well. And I had to decide whether to go with it or not. So, but I have. So the ecru is on our dress. It looks, the stitching actually, it looks really good. It's not often I'm singing about my stitches, but it does look really good. So this is on 32 count platinum by Zwygod, I think. If it's not, it's very, very, very similar. So what is that? Oh, 611. I've got 611. No, for some reason I haven't got 611. Oh well. I can easily, if I haven't got 611 kicking around, I am not going to go hunting for it. I'm just going to substitute a colour. I think we all know what 611 is, don't we? Or I'll do anyway. I do lots of stitches with 610 and 611 in. So I think if you're a primmy stitcher, you will know. It's just basically a brown. Just stop showing off, Sherrie. It's a brown. It's a brown. Settle yourself. So yes, I am pleased with how that's coming on. So I've just got the reindeer to do and a few bits on the border. A couple of little straight stitches for the legs for the bird. I am doing this with the called for apart from the red of the birds and the red around here. It was meant to be cayenne and I'm using mulberry. Just a dark red, it doesn't really doesn't really matter, but I'm looking forward to having this done. I think this will be as sweet as a button done as a little pillow. I do, I think. And I've got spring of lessons. Remember was it last week or the week before? Every time I think about buying things, it just makes me so happy that my virtual husband's home and I can have things again. It's just, oh, yes, yes, yes. Although I have to remind myself that just because I can doesn't mean I have to. Yeah. Did I learn anything from it? I did learn quite a lot. Nashville 2026. Has anybody found anything that they like? Because I can't really... I mean, there's only a handful of stuff out. I've just been looking on Peakside. There's only a handful of things. So I suppose we're only at the end of January. But there's only one thing I like, and I can't remember how to pronounce it. Is it Soidi? Soidee, something like that. And that's the only thing that I've seen that I like. Yeah. And I am going to try and be very, very good, because I didn't get anything last year. Well, I did, but I got it later on in the year. So, and I didn't die. I didn't go shopping at Nashville, and the world didn't stop turning. I know. I was really shocked. Really, really shocked. So, spring. Let's spring into spring. So this is the Cricket collection. Spring. And this is starting to look really pretty, actually. The colour I've substituted, and it just makes me smile. It does. So, I'm going to have to pick that clip up. Right, all clipped up. So, this is where I am. So what have you done? What have you done? What have you done since you last saw this? I'd like to know what you've done. I would like to know, to be fair. So yeah. But what have I done, even? Basically, I've done the pea. Can I have a pea, please, Bob? Everybody. And I know everybody of a certain age in the UK knows exactly what I'm talking about. So for those in other countries, there used to be a game called Blockbusters, and it was like teenagers, and you had a board of hexagonal pieces, and you had to get across the board, and you had to pick a letter, and they would ask you a quiz question, and whether you got it right meant you could light up the letter. And it was always a little bit naughty, because they always used to giggle and go, "Can I have a pig, please, Bob?" And then we all giggled, man. That's right, naughty. Yeah, it was Generation X. We're all a little bit strange. So anyway, yes, I've done the pea. Thanks, Bob. But I had to change the colour. It was meant to be this lovely buttery yellow. There in anyway, you would have seen that on this. It would have been pretty, but it would have been tone on tone. So I exchanged. Does that say 745? Where's my gaps? Oh. Oh, dear me. $7.45. So that colour, basically I switched it for $7.26. Just so it looked a little bit brighter. I think I probably could have gone a little bit paler, but that's okay. I'm quite happy with the colour I've chosen, and I've done quite a lot really. I also changed the fence. The fence is meant to be done in ecru. There wouldn't have been any way you would have seen ecru. I think I've put it away. On this fabric. So this is 40 count hybrid gold by Marie, Swan Bay Fabrics. And it's lovely. Really, really lovely. I need to go back and finish this. I need to find the missing threads for the S to make sure I can get that finished. But it's looking proper spring-like. This will be dead pretty when it's done. And I'm doing it with all of the called for 278 colours, as Cricket liked to have. But yes, said it before, say it again. I kit it up as I go. I kit up each letter as well as I can. Because like I say, look at all these. And I'm still missing a couple for one letter. Bonkers, bonkers, bonkers. But yes, all much springy light colours. I know I said I changed the ecru out. What did I say what I changed it for though? I just used, oh, that's right. I started with 8565. No, is it 85? Just making it up. 3865. But you couldn't see it either. So I went with Blanc. And you can see it in real life. I did think you guys wouldn't. What's happened there? So you can see it, and that's much like what it looks like in real life. But there was no way I could have, other than painting the fence a different colour, stitching the fence a different colour entirely. Obviously Blanc is as white as you can go, really. So that is that one. And my last one, because the reason I haven't got as many was because was it Saturday I was saying, see, when I started this Flosstuber, I said I couldn't get into the zone on Saturday or Sunday. And I couldn't, all right, but I didn't do my Flosstube till Sunday, so I lost a day anyway because I showed you what I'd been stitching on the Saturday. That's right. So I knew I would be a day down. So the last whip I've got is where my heart is at the moment. Winter Rose Manor by With Thy Needle and Thread, who of course is Brenda Gervais. I can't remember where I was up to. Oh yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I don't think I've done a huge amount. Basically, what I've done is I've finished off the fence. So I was up to about here, I think. So I've finished off the fence entirely. So this is where the house begins. It looks good, doesn't it? I didn't realise how good it looked till I've just looked at it. It does look good. And the stitching itself, again, is really spot on. Apart from this one. I've lost his tail. I'm going to have to go back and frog a few stitches and then re-anchor it, put some new stitches in and re-anchor that thread. I've obviously been very frugal when I've snipped the end and it's worked its way out. So I still need to go back and take this pot out and do it with me new roasted sampler. Roasted marshmallow. And I do need to go back up here. See, I'm still leaving things. And there's some little flowers that need to go in. So the little reds need to go in that box. But that fence is looking good. That looks really good. I like that. Yes. We used to laugh as teenagers, me and me best friend at the time. I don't know why we found it funny. Our dad would be watching something and he'd go, "Now I like that man." I mean, and I thought it was just hilarious. "Now I like that man." It was just the way he said it. Not that he liked it. It was just the way he would be watching. "Now I like that man." All right. Why is it when teenagers that everything your parents do is either like, "Duh, what are you doing that for?" or it's hilarious. I should have said, by the way, I'm doing this on winter brew, 36 count winter brew, with all of the called for. Yes, which are all mainly wicks, and there's a couple of gentle arts in there. Is there any classic colourworks? Yes, a couple of classic colourworks as well. So that is all of my stitching for last week. So I've got a couple of gifts, and to show you my fabric dyeing, one shake of a lamb's tail. So when I was in my 22 count hard hanger phase, when I picked it up during the other week to start my hands-on design, I realised I had quite a lot and it was really bright, and I thought it would be nice to have something that's a bit more antique-y looking for samplers. So I did this. I know, isn't that mint? I am thrilled to bits with it. It is a little creamier, so the whitey bits here, like the lighter bits I should say, sorry, are a bit creamier than what they're looking on there. But it's just coffee dyed. I'm over the moon, like literally over the moon. I just keep looking at it going, I did that. Like, yeah, I did that. That's mad. Quite amazed. Quite amazed. Really, really lovely. I probably couldn't do it again if I tried. But, yeah. I actually did try, because that's like my next bit. But I had a bit more of a play. But yeah, so this is 22 count hard hanger. So I should get quite a few things out of that piece. So that'll be good, won't it? I'm amazed. I'm amazed. So I didn't rinse it out this time like I did the last time and wondered why it was really light. Yeah, I was chuffed. Now my other bit, it's just a little bit. Hand on heart, if I could recreate it, I would sell this because I think it's sellable. I could be wrong, but I think it is. Look at that. Isn't that a wild bit of fabric? So I had a play with this. So again, this is 22 count hard hanger, but I had a real play with this. I did it, I tea and coffee dyed it. Well, no, I didn't, I'm lying. Again, surprise, surprise. I coffee dyed it, didn't put any tea in. So this is where these sort of harsh sort of lines have come from. I coffee dyed it and did it for a lot longer than I did this one for. And then I wanted to see if I could get a blue out of it somehow. So I put some, I think it was denim Rit dye in the colour denim. That is kind of what this is. Only it was, obviously it was all over. I didn't leave it on very long because I didn't want a deep blue. I just wanted kind of a hint of blue. So it came out darker than I would have wanted. But it didn't really matter because again I was playing more than anything. But then what I did was, because I was thinking, right, what could I stitch on that? It's a fabulous bit of fabric. But what could I do on it? And I was starting to think I could do like a black witch, you know, like a silhouette-y type black witch on it. And then I thought, because it would be like night time, and then I thought, I wonder if I can get the half of it darker, you know, like so to emulate the night sky. So I went back in, and you can see I dyed this half with indigo, so Rit dye again. I did put it all in, and I was tipping it so that some of the dye was still hitting the bottom. So, because I didn't want it to be like a line in the middle and dark and thingy. I wanted it to be more of a gradual sort of, to see if I could create a sort of a nighty, a dark one with night sky. I hope I'm explaining it. What I also happened to do, and I'm not entirely sure how I did this, but I've got little dots you can see over here, sort of little, and it almost looks like I've put salt on, you know, rock salt. In watercolour you can put rock salt on and it'll leave these like little tiny little sort of white bits, like a crackle effect almost. And that's what it reminded me of. I don't know how I did that, I'll be honest. I don't know how these have come out. I don't know whether it's the way I've scrunched it or what, or whether there has been something in, what's the word, reacting, sort of chemically reacting. I don't know. Michelle might know, she's a science teacher. So anyway, I think that's mint. And I've never seen anything like this. I think it's fab, I do. And again, because it's 22 count, it's a lot bigger. Sorry, I'm going to get a lot more on it than the size of what it looks like. So yes, chuffed to blithering bits. So they can now go away in my drawer. Obviously the other side, which is a lot smoother. You could still use the other side, but it's a lot smoother than that. But yeah. 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 I'm always amazed when I do something that looks reasonably good. So that is that. I then bought 3 things. I came across a lady she's called Cheryl, and she has got Curry cross stitch on Etsy. So I bought 3 of hers. It was Sarah's Stitchy Spot is doing a sale with one of hers, and I was like, oh, I need that. And then when I was in the Etsy shop, I discovered another couple that I just needed. Well, I mean, what can I say? My husband's back and he wants to buy me things. What can I say? So, the one that Sarah is doing, look at that. Angelina Morris, 1850. And it's the border for me. It's the border. There is a ton of over one in there though. But I do love that border. Really, really, really. It's very much like a bit of a Teresa Cogat. She would do a border. I mean, obviously this is a proper reproduction. Teresa's tend not to be the ones that I'm thinking of anyway, with the hefty borders. But then when I was on her website, now I came across this. So this is a friendship. God, I thought I'd given you the pattern there, I nearly died. Friendship chart. Now this is for charity, so I would encourage you all to hop over and buy this. This is for Dementia Scotland. So she's obviously a Scottish lady, hence the thistle. And all the money from this goes to a charity for dementia in Scotland. And it's not very expensive, this chart, either. So I would encourage you, if you want to do a little bit for charity this month, consider hopping over. And also this lady, I think she's fairly new on Etsy. That was a bit of a weird one. She's fairly new on Etsy, so it would also give her a little bit of a boost in sales and reviews and things like that. So it's supporting another lady in our stitchy community. Go for it. And then I still bought another one just because, well, because this one, I really like this. Elizabeth Price, 1840. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm reading it backwards, you see, just in case you're thinking, yes, well done, Sherrie, you can read. Yeah. So, yes. I think it's the colours on this one, the sort of the muted, gentle colours. Although I'll need to have a look. I'll just need to check that all of this stitching isn't over one, because if it is, Houston, we could have a problem. I don't know. I would need to check the chart, and I've only printed out the title page just so I could show you. So that is Curry cross stitch, aka a lady called Cheryl. I think she's on Instagram as well. I know she's definitely on Instagram, but whether her business is, I'm not sure. So that's that one. Have I done anything else? I think that's about it. One moment while I find my final thought. Right, I've got my cardio on. I'm frozen. So, where are we? Forward plans. What am I going to do? Well, isn't that the $69,000 question? I'm saying I want to do me new blessing sampler to get it done in January. But equally, I don't want to waste a day off. And what I mean by that is I pick up like bigger projects when I'm off. So things like Snow Queen or even Winter Rose Manor, those kinds of projects. Whereas the little sampler I'm doing, it's the sort of thing I would do before work and after work. So I don't want to waste a day off doing it, but equally I wanted to have it done by the end of January because it's a blessing sampler. I could just change my mind and just say I'm replacing, because I have actually already done, this was me blessing sampler, I've already done it. So I'm fine. I'll still have my cross stitch blessed. I'll still be blessed by the gods. So yeah, I think that's what I'll probably do. I think I'll get rid of it as a blessing sampler and just say it's me newest. It's me front cover for me book. Come on, Sherrie, get with the programme. So I will pick up a bigger project today. What that bigger project will be, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I'll go down and and contemplate me fate. But I've got so much that I have to do. So I've got me Shepherd's Year February. I've got me Cricket Winter and Cricket Spring. I've got me hands-on design with Rachel that I need to do. I need to do me blessing, not me blessing sampler, but me Blackbird thing with Sarah. I need to find out what the hell I'm meant to be doing for that. I think we decided, and I've just forgotten. Sarah, what am I meant to be doing? I've got no idea. Yeah. So I've got lots and lots of stuff that I should be doing, that I have to do, and of course I don't want to do any of them. So I'll decide. I've got, I was going to say, so my new start would be February as well. Kind of new start, because I did start them all, though in me 12 and 12. I've got right itchy, have you seen that? If you can see, such itchy knuckles, and I don't know why, if I've got a little bite or something, but frustrating. So anyway, I also wanted to say thank you for all the comments for last week. Obviously we discussed, well, I talked about what was going on in America, and I was a little bit wary doing it because this is Flosstuber. It's not, it's not a political channel or anything like that. This is a slice of heaven away from the real world. So I didn't want to bring the real world into it too much, but it was the fact that I'd used the quote about, if you say nothing, you're siding with the oppressor. So I just felt compelled to speak out because of that. So massive thank you for all the people that have supported me and said, thanks for speaking up, you were right to do so, all the rest of it. There is one comment that I'm yet to go back on, and it's a comment that is at odds with my opinion. And it's funny, initially I thought I would just react as a, no, you're wrong, and move on kind of thing. But actually that's not the case. I felt like I would probably quite like to sit down with them and discuss why the views are that way and what can we do to meet in the middle. Because otherwise we are running straight into civil war, whether that's in America or Britain. There's Germany, France, they've all got a real big sort of right-wing presence at the moment, and I think we all need to be quite careful that we don't end up in, like I say, these civil wars. Yeah, sad times, very sad times that we are living in. But I've said my piece now, and I won't go sort of over it again unless something obviously major kind of happens. But yeah, this is our little slice of heaven, our little stitch in heaven. So, but the final thought today, I wanted to relate to that. So, going forward kind of thing. So I looked up thoughts to do with unity, and I found one from Martin Luther King Jr. So very, very apt, very, and he said, we must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Bye for now.